Fixez.com bringing you another repair video today. Looks like we're going to be working on the Nokia Lumia 1520 from AT&T. In today's video, we're going to show you the steps necessary to remove and replace the display assembly on your Nokia. Before we get started with our disassemble, let's review our suggested tools. Small Phillips screwdriver, T2 Torx screwdriver, plastic opening tools, a spudger, iSesamo opening tool, T5 Torx screwdriver, SIM card ejection tool, fine-tipped curved tweezers, a heat gun or a blow dryer. Taking a look here at our Nokia, you're going to notice the obvious damaged display assembly that we're going to need to replace. We're going to begin our entry into the Nokia on the side of the phone where the SIM card and the SD slots are. We're going to slide those out using our SIM card removal tool or a paper clip. We've got a single T2 Torx screw between the two slots. Yours might be covered up with the sticker. Let's go ahead and back this screw out to release the rear cover for removal. We're going to go in here with the pry tool and pop free the first of a series of clips, and then work our way around the perimeter of the phone until the rear cover is completely removed. With that rear cover removed, you'll see a good portion of the phone covered up with the black sticker. We want to remove that sticker here. We'll use a heat gun or a blow dryer to go ahead and soften up that adhesive, making it easier for removal so that we don't damage it and we can put it back when we reassemble. Most of our screws inside the Nokias are going to be a T5 Torx bit. Our first one here secures the cover over two connections on the motherboard, one of those connections being the battery. We can release them here by gently prying them up. And now we can work on removing the battery by peeling it up from the body of the phone. The use of a little heat from our heat gun or a blow dryer might make it a little easier, softening up that adhesive and then getting that battery out of the way. Let's continue removing our connections from the motherboard here, starting with the two coaxial connections in the lower portion of the motherboard. We've got another series of connections covered here by a protective plate that you want to slide out of position and then pry up on the two connectors under it. A couple more T5 Torx bit screws that we need to remove. And now the motherboard should be available to maneuver around the connections and remove it from the phone. We've got a cover here that protects our vibration motor in the body of the phone. And let's remove the four T5 Torx screws holding in the loudspeaker into the bottom. Let's not forget to pull our two coaxial cable runs out of the channel that runs up the side of the phone before removing the loudspeaker. On the side of the phone, you're going to see the ribbon cable for the power and volume buttons. To make it easier for removal, we'll use our heat gun or a blow dryer and soften up the securing adhesive before we peel up this ribbon cable. We're going to bring in our replacement part and show you that it's going to come with a good portion of the framework here for the phone. You're going to want to transplant all of your existing parts over to the replacement part for the rebuild. Let's go ahead and peel out our volume and power buttons at this time. Followed by our vibration motor. Our last piece is going to be the earpiece speaker, which should easily peel up from the housing. Let's go ahead and begin the rebuild of our Nokia 1520 by bringing in our replacement part here, equipped with the majority of our framework. And now we're going to do our disassemble in complete reverse, starting with our earpiece speaker, placing it into the housing here, bringing in our vibration motor back into position here in the side of the phone, our power button and volume button ribbon cable. Let's position it into the side of the framework here, securing it with a little adhesive. Let's reposition our earpiece speaker that fell out real quick. Next is the loudspeaker into the bottom of the phone. Let's make sure we position those coaxial cable runs into the channel. We're now going to secure the loudspeaker with the 4 screws. Let's maneuver our motherboard down into the center of the phone, being sure to secure both the front and the rear-facing cameras into their housing as appropriately. Let's begin mounting the motherboard with our T5 Torx bit screws. Let's begin securing our connections, starting with the power and volume buttons and the LCD connection in the side, bringing in the protective plate and sliding it back into place. We've got our coaxial cable connections here in the corner. Here's our little protective plate that goes over the top of our vibration motor. And let's bring that battery back down into the housing in the center of the phone. Let's secure its connection here, as well as the connection for the loudspeaker. Let's not forget our protective plate for these 2 connections, and the T5 Torx bit screw that's going to secure it. At this time, we're going to place our black sticker over our connections as it was when we initially got into the phone. And we can bring in our rear cover. We're going to start here with the bottom of the phone, and then working ourselves up the side around the power and the volume buttons, and snapping the clips in around the perimeter until it's completely secured around our new display assembly. We can now reinstall the single screw between the SIM card and the SD card with our T2 Torx screwdriver. And we can slide our card holders back into place. Let's power the phone on at this point and check for full functionality. And there you have it. Another successful repair by Fixez.com. All of the parts and tools you've seen today in this video are available at www.fixez.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.